6 days is a long time in football terms. Haven't uploaded any videos in that time, but a lot has happened in those 6 days. So we're going to talk about Southgate's 23-man England squad. Oh my goodness. The next Arsenal manager, who is that going to be? And what do these three players have in common? Lacazette, Aubameyang and Alexis Sanchez. And finally we'll talk about a landmark that we have reached. Let's get into the video. Hi and welcome again to Arsenal Republic TV, the channel for Arsenal fans all over the world. So like I said in my intro, 6 days is a long time in football terms and a lot has happened. So let's get into Gareth Southgate's 23-man England squad for this year's World Cup. I'm going to go through it and I'm going to mention some names that were omitted and maybe the players who I thought should have been in the squad. Anyway, so let's get into it. So the goalkeepers is gone with Jack Butland, Jordan Pickford and Nick Pope. And there's one goalkeeper who's missing in Joe Hart. I do feel sorry for the guy because since he was loaned out to from Man City to West Ham, he hasn't had the best of seasons. You know, I do feel sorry for him, but I think it's time to move on. And they do say goalkeepers, they do peak in their mid-30s and he's 31 years old. So it's not so much his age. I think his form hasn't been really, you know, hasn't been good this season. So yeah, I feel sorry for him. But however, it's time to move on. And those three goalkeepers that Gareth Southgate has chosen, I think they're pretty good goalkeepers. Anyway, so the defenders are Alexander-Arnold, Cahill, no, Harry Maguire, Phil Jones, Danny Rose, John Stones, Kieran Trippier, Carl Walker and Ashley Young. Cahill, I didn't think he hasn't had a great season with Chelsea, even though they've won the FA Cup. But throughout the whole season, would I say he's probably one of the best defenders? No, I wouldn't say that. But who else could Gareth Southgate have chosen? I'm not sure. So basically what he's chosen, in his point of view, has been the best of the best bunch in England. But Cahill, well, anyway, he's gone with that. Harry Maguire, yeah, I guess in the friendlies he had a pretty decent performance. So yeah, I guess, you know, again, he's picked the players who he had available to him. So then we go on to the midfielders. Dele Alli, Fabian Delph, Eric Dyer, Jordan Henderson, Jesse Lingard, Loftus-Cheek. I'm happy about Loftus-Cheek being chosen. And Raheem Sterling. One thing is missing from the midfield is creativity. Who's going to bring in the creativity? Wiltshire. I would have chosen Wiltshire, but I mentioned in a previous video that he would be too much of a gamble to take out to the World Cup. Yeah, we know he's a top-rated player, but the contract talks with Arsenal has deflected from his performance. And personally, I wouldn't have taken him to the World Cup. It's been a big gamble. But who's going to bring the creativity that that England need in the World Cup? Do we need creativity? We just need players to play together as a team. But anyway, strikers, obvious: Harry Kane, Marcus Rashford, Jamie Vardy, and Danny Welbeck. Would I have chosen Danny Welbeck? He scored 10 goals in 43 appearances for Arsenal. However, saying that, in 37 appearances, he scored the best part of 15 goals. So, in international level, excuse me, I've got a bit of a cough, he does the business. So I think Gareth Southgate was looking at his performance at international level, not club level. But again, would I have chosen him? On the stats alone, I would have chosen Danny Welbeck. It's a young team, it's a young squad, and they are saying literally, or that Gareth Southgate, he's preparing for the next tournament. And the argument is, how are you going to have players, with no experience if you don't pick them? So this is the point that I think Gareth Southgate is trying to make, that these guys have the potential for the next tournament. How far can they go in this year's World Cup? They should make it out of the group stages. Anything beyond that is a plus. But you know what? I give plaudits to Gareth Southgate for being brave enough to pick the young squad that I've just read out there. There are some names in there that pops out that probably I wouldn't have chosen, but you've got to have some experience in that squad to go forward and beyond in the World Cup. So yeah, I think they should get out of the group stages. The one rival in the group is going to be Belgium. But anything beyond that, again, I think is going to be a plus. So let's wait and see. Yeah. I don't know. I'm not sure what you guys think out there. What what players would you have picked for the England squad? And, that's the team. All right. So I mentioned in the intro, Lacazette, Aubameyang and Alexis Sanchez. No, it's not what you think. It's not the fact that they all play or they have played for Arsenal. Amazingly enough, these players are not going to feature in the World Cup. Sanchez with Chile, they didn't make it. He couldn't fire them, into the World Cup. Aubameyang with Gabon, yeah, they didn't make it through the stages. And Alexandre Lacazette wasn't chosen for the France squad. But I think Didier Deschamps has him on standby. Now, I was thinking about this. Did Didier Deschamps not choose him because of what's happened? I.e., Wenger didn't let this guy play 90 minutes throughout because he's our top scorer for the season which has just gone. So what was Didier Deschamps thinking not to choose Alexandre Lacazette? I'm furious. Absolutely furious. This guy should be in the squad. But, yeah, I don't know what it's going to take for this guy to be included because, like I said, he's on standby. So, yeah, Lacazette, man. Oh, anyway. And the topic for the last 2-3 weeks has been who's going to be the next Arsenal manager. To be honest, I am fed up. Absolutely fed up because I want the board to announce, excuse me, who the next manager is going to be. You know my favourite, it's Carlo Ancelotti. I want Carlo Ancelotti to be in there. Look, guys, not for a long period of time, minimum 5-year contract. I want him to be there maximum 18 months to steady the ship. And do you know who agrees with me? Surprise, surprise, is William Gallas. I saw he wrote a piece, I think in The Guardian online, and he's saying that Carlo Ancelotti should be Arsenal's next manager. But the caveat is that he wants Thierry Henry as the assistant manager. And in some way, I do agree with him. So this is what William Gallas has said. He says that if Arsenal want to give him, Thierry Henry, the opportunity to be manager for Arsenal, they have to bring in one manager, of course. For me, it's Ancelotti. Why? Because if you bring Ancelotti, he's a great manager, but he's a great manager who wants to share his experience. So if you bring Ancelotti and after a while you bring Thierry Henry as assistant manager for 2 or 3 years, Thierry will learn a lot with Ancelotti. Do I agree with that concept? I do in a way. Should it be Thierry Henry? I'm not sure. Again, we saw what happened with Manchester United. Once, excuse me, Fergie left, they didn't have like or they didn't prepare like an assistant manager to take over from Fergie, and it seems like the same thing is going to happen with Arsenal. The same thing is going to happen with Arsenal. But again, I want Ancelotti to be there. It doesn't have to be Thierry Henry, and I don't want it to be Thierry Henry because I don't want it. He's legend status. He is the assistant manager with Belgium, but I don't want him not yet to be the manager of Arsenal. I think the main idea is to have Ancelotti there to steady the ship, and then bring in, I think, Allegri. But whoever the next manager is going to be, I want Arsenal, the board Arsenal, to do it very, very quick. I think all this Arteta stuff for me, is just a red herring. I think they already have the person in mind that they're talking to. But to, put Arteta in this situation, I think is unfair. I don't think he's going to be the next manager. But I just want Arsenal to clarify the situation very, very quickly and appoint the manager very, very quickly so the players can know who the next manager is going to be. And we as fans can get behind and be prepared before, during and after the World Cup. It's just too much of a merry-go-round for me. Just get it out there, appoint the manager so we all know where we stand. But again, that is just the Arsenal way, dragging out things. Look what happened with Arsene Wenger before he signed the contract. He disrupted, the feeling amongst the players. Delaying the announcement. Anyway, then that's my thought, on the next Arsenal manager. So we move on to the landmark. What is the landmark that I want to talk about? The landmark is we have now reached more than 1,000 subscribers to Arsenal Republic TV channel. I don't know really what more I can say apart from thank you again to everyone that has supported the channel. I don't know what more I can say. Really, thank you very much. I think we're going to do, a special video. That we've got the third Easy Talk live stream coming up on the 31st of May, which is a Thursday at 7 p.m. We're going to have Adam from Route 1 Online. We're going to have Raz, and we're going to have Lil Maisie coming on the channel. And it's going to be a real hoot. We're going to have so many things to talk about. So make sure that you are there. Join in the chat. Please, please, please. I'm so grateful to everyone. There's so many people behind the screen, the scenes here at Arsenal Public TV. I've alluded to the fact that, I've got Raz, who's helped me to, create and build the channel. All the contributors, the people who help promote the channel out there, my family, my wife, everyone out there all over the globe who've subscribed to the channel and viewed and commented as well, whether they're negative or positive. We are truly grateful. So make sure you do tune in when we do the Easy Talk live stream. And I you see my face. I'm the main face on the channel, but there's so many people behind the scenes who help the channel to build it to where it is at this point in time. But however, let me just say a final thank you, and you have been watching Arsenal Republic TV.